Right now, I have to stop saying
Bing bong.
Do we have a super chat already?
Oh, yes, we do.
Are we doing a super chat in the cold open?
Should we?
Have we ever done a super chat
I don't think
in
we
the cold
have
open?
before. Let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it while I make this camera not blurry.
All right. So we're going to do a super chat in the cold open, and it's going to be a Masterton and 99 Cup year from I Love Misty 1985. What? No, I got it. I can't tell what color it is, but I can see it. What an exciting game. Too bad I missed it because I was watching the Avs and the Wild battle for third place spot in the Central. Did you know Ingrid Andress can sing a decent national anthem when she's sober? Also, Pavs. He's busy.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. We'll wait. Should we start the show then?
I think it's good. Well, we got another one? Oh, no.
No, I think we'll wait. Starts
Get
post-game
ready,
show.
boys.
Well, that was fun. As the Dallas Stars beat the LA Kings 6-2 at the AAC tonight. This is the DLS Dallas Stars postgame show alongside His Eminence, the Honorable Craig Ludwig, Esquire, and our producer, John, make sure you pay me for copywriting my memes, Anderson. I'm Owen Newkirk.
Technically, I gave all credit on those memes to Craig Ludwig Graphic Design Services.
You have a lot of businesses.
Got a lot going on.
Yeah.
Here.
I don't know how you keep it all straight.
This is not
That notebook is definitely the way to do it.
Look at that.
I'm glad you can read
isn't
that.
that awful?
Can you read it?
That's no.
We're going to get notes from Luds as our post-game show gets going. They hadn't played a home game in 3.5 weeks. They looked really sluggish in Columbus on Tuesday.
They took it out on LA, didn't they?
Boy, did they. I mean, night and day difference, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, the first 3-4 minutes was kind of dipping their toe in the water, and then they get that first goal quick, and that gets the fans into it right away, which I'm sure they were waiting for. The fans were waiting for it. So it was like the perfect kind of start for the Stars tonight.
We've been talking a lot about Jason Robertson and the basically since around the time that he didn't make the Team USA for the Four Nations. He wasn't on that roster. We didn't expect him to. And then since then, he's really been fired up. Now, of course, part of it may be motivation. Part of it is actually healthy. But you watch him play the beginning of this game, and he scores the game's first goal on a rebound. The puck came to him. But on many other occasions tonight, Luds, he had the puck on his stick, and there was no hesitation. He went to the net. He dangled guys and went to the crease. He was not afraid to go to the areas that it looked like he was at the beginning month or two of the season.
I think the robo instincts are back where they were last year when the goals were coming, and it just seems like he has some kind of advantage to know where the puck is going to come off of somebody's stick, somebody's skate, off the wall. But with all that being said, is the first thing that leads to all that is the initial work. Like, he puts the work in as he comes up through the neutral zone. He's got speed. Now he's coming across the offensive blue line with speed. And then what happens, because Hintz is going now, and you've got Stank who's going now as of tonight, but he's always been kind of going, whoever's on that right side. But now there's ice that opens up for Robo in the middle of the ice somewhere when you get just below the tops of the circles. And so he can navigate through that. Does he pick up the pace? Does he slow down a little bit? And it's the instincts there that take over for him, because the way that he's able to read what the other guys are doing and the angle that a puck is being shot at the net, to be able to kind of maybe curve out a little bit to the left because it's a wider angle and it's going to come out a little, further out to the left or right. He seems to have it all going on right now.
And that goal for Robertson was really a poor rebound from Darcy Kemper, because Harley just goes and throws a backhander from a tough angle, throws it. I don't even know if it's intended to be a shot. He's just throwing it toward the crease, maybe to cause some trouble. Maybe I should give him more credit than that. Maybe he was intending to try to throw one off the goalie. Kemper makes an absolute meal out of it.
Well, it's when you mentioned Harley's the one that Harley and Hintz made that play. Harley makes it because he jumps up into the play. So now all of a sudden there's 4 guys on the attack. But when Hintz drops the puck to Harley, he runs into, I think it was Anderson, the defenseman. He runs into him, and all of a sudden Anderson has to stop on the play, and that's what opens up the ice for Harley. He goes down to the left of Kemper, and yeah, he kind of throws some kind of curveball or whatever it was, just to the front of the net. On it. No, it was just to the front of the net, and he gets a fortunate bounce. And again, Robo is in the right spot at the right time, and he's not even at a great angle where he puts it into the net. No. He's way off to Kemper's right, and it's on his stick and it's off right away. I mean, Kemper has no chance to recover from that initial rebound.
And look, sometimes when you're going, the puck falls to you, and that I don't want to take credit away from Robertson. Maybe he read it and was in the right spot. Sometimes you can make the right play and the puck just doesn't go your direction. In this case, not only did it go to him, but he knew exactly what he was going to do with it without hesitating.
It's funny, and I'm not comparing one to the other, but they used to say that about Gretz. They said the puck just follows him all over the place. He kind of knew where it was going to go all the time. And again, it's the same kind of instincts that they have, and they have that nose to where it is, and they don't go like when Roope Hintz is skating at top speed, a lot of those pucks he wouldn't be able to handle or get to because he's blowing by him when they come off of rebounds and things like that, where right now Robo's just he's kind of sniffing it out. He just kind of feels where it is, and I think he knows that when Hintz is shooting the puck, it's coming off the stick a little harder, so maybe it's going to come out a little further. The pucks that are being shot from the point that don't have a lot of heat on them, now he can inch a little bit closer to the net because the big rebounds aren't going to come out to the top of the circle area. They're going to lay a little bit around where we saw Stankoven score the goals tonight.
1-0 Stars on Robertson's team-leading 25th goal of the season. But then Lud's 2 minutes, 22 seconds. It's a little longer than the narrative this year, but the Stars do give up the tying goal fairly shortly after. And it's a really nice play by Philippe Deneau. At first glance, when I was watching this live across the street, I thought it was a rebound. I'm like, oh, this is a goal just like...
Were you at the House of Blues tonight watching the game?
A little bit farther down.
Oh.
Yeah. But, Mikey Anderson fires one from the blue line. He's just trying to get it on net. Yeah. I thought it was a rebound, but it was actually a really nice play by Deneau.
Well, and their little mix-up there was, I think it was CC and Essa. I think it was them. I don't know. Or it could have been Harley, too.
23 and 44 were on the ice.
That would be Essa. Yeah, what happened was they got kind of tied up and on the other side of the net, and CC's down low, and then he starts to continue on to chase, and Essa switched off and chased. And that's why those two guys were standing all alone in front of the net.
So Deneau catches it.
Yeah, and he makes a nice little
But
dish.
he's back to the goal, and instead of trying to, you would not have faulted him to just put it on his backhand and try to stuff it past Oettinger. But that little tuck pass, Fogle had the whole net because of that little bit of movement.
Yeah, I think he gets Jake going. If he turns a little bit to his left, Jake kind of starts sliding to the left, then he passes the puck back to his right on the tape, and then the net. Easy goal for Fogle.
Fogle now has 4 goals in his last 6 games. He's been feeling it lately. Gets that one, 17th of the year. It's 1-1. This is where things go a little goofy. Tanner Jeannot collides with Matt Dumba in the middle of the Stars' defensive zone. But as he does so, his stick comes up and he catches the face of Brendan Smith. He actually takes out both of the Stars' defensemen in one play. Now, he doesn't know what he's doing, but the rule is you have to be responsible for your stick. I'm positive he wasn't trying to stick Brendan Smith in the face, but he draws blood. They review it, 4-minute power play, and the Stars make him pay. And this power play, this is another one of those where Robertson got the puck, and instead of hanging around perimeter, he's driving to the interior.
Yeah, and then it's the passing play, right? It's boom, boom,
that
boom.
goal is gorgeous, isn't it?
Oh, God, that's a highlight reel goal. And it's just too bad a guy like Brendan Smith, who gets nicked up on one side of his nose, gets nicked up a little bit on the other side of his nose on the lip, doesn't even get an assist on that. We should give him some kind of
Well, he certainly gave them this power play.
Absolutely.
Duchene scores his 24th, one back of Robertson for the team lead, and it's started by Robo, that spinning backhand pass.
When he won the puck on the wall.
Yes.
And then he makes that pass. But it was off Robo, and that you're talking about that spinner, like, again, that's just knowing where Hintz is. And if you watch that play from the beginning, out near the blue line, Hintz he does come out of the zone. He comes all the way out of the zone, and now he's timing it too. He watches the battle go along, and that's where, Robo gets the puck. He goes down the wall a little bit. He has an idea where Hintz is, and he's on the other side of the ice out by the top of the circle. And then Hintz just lets it go. And I love it when a guy, they all do it, but as soon as that puck leaves Duchene's stick, he doesn't look and he goes right to Hintz.
I love that. Yeah.
I know. And
if you get a great pass,
yeah,
don't turn your back to the primary assister and go celebrate in a corner. That's a team play.
That doesn't happen without that pass right there. And then that pass doesn't happen without Robo out battling somebody on the wall and making that beautiful backhand pass.
They went and reviewed it really quickly, but it wasn't because they were concerned with whether the goal was allowed or legal. It was to make sure that it happened because there were still 2 minutes on the board. Yeah. And it did slide in under the first half of the double minor. So they get a second half power play. And, I mean, listen to this. Hintz stuff shot at the crease. Hintz one-time shot, low slot. Robertson wrister top of crease. Duchene rebound, snapshot, hits the left post. That was from the right circle. He couldn't believe he didn't have 2 goals in that power play. But that's what I'm talking about. This power play was dangerous all night. They scored once in the 4 minutes, but they had 9 scoring chances, Luds. That is why this power play is completely different than the first couple months.
They weren't looking for the perfect play all the time. No. It was like boom, 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 pucks going to the net. And we got, and again, we've complained about it all year long. I mean, start getting pucks to the net. When you do that, it breaks down the penalty kill because now you're going to a certain spot of the ice, and as you're leaving, the puck's going past you. Then you got to chase back. Then there's a rebound, and all of a sudden, that's what breaks down power play or penalty kills that want to play with some structure and some. They want to play with some pace too. They want to try to force them, and when you start forcing and the puck keeps leaving you. You eventually have to go back and you have to set up, so you can kind of get your bearings again. And Dallas never let them do it.
That was the turning point, was that 4-minute power play. But there was a little extra layer of that turning point because right at the end, they gave up a shorthanded breakaway to the LA goal scorer, Warren Fogle. Oettinger makes a fantastic save, denies him on the one-on-one. And then seconds after the power play ends, Logan Stankoven scores. That's a 2-goal swing. Went from 2-1 Stars to 3-1. It could have been 2-2. That's a huge save by your goalie when he hasn't had anything to do for about 5 minutes. And then this guy.
Yeah, it was nice to see him. And where was he? He's hanging around the front of the net. But I will tell you that the happiest guy guy or girl in American Airlines Center was Matt Dumba because of that save. Because Dumba tried to keep that puck in on the blue line.
Missed it.
And it's always nice to see when your goalie does one thing at the other end. And then what Stank did. And when Stankoven got down there, on both of the goals that he scored, he's down that blue paint area. But it was the patience and the poise that he has. Kemper's a little bit tied up, so good job here with the interference. But then what Stank does is he's got that poise and patience. He gets it. He pulls it down a little bit towards the goal line. And Kemper's kind of caught out of position like that. There's nowhere he's going to go. But Stank just takes his time. There's no panic. And he pulls it away from the pad and he tucks it in.
That's Dodonov parked in front of the net. He doesn't get a point on this play because Lindell takes a shot. Stankoven gets the rebound and scores. Sam Steele gets the other assist. Steele had a nice night. We'll talk more about him in a minute. But that occupying Kemper on this shot by Lindell, that's exactly what your net front guy is supposed to do in Dodonov.
Well, it's not only Kemper, it's Doughty.
And the defenseman.
When that puck comes loose off of Kemper's pad, Dodonov puts a little, a stick on Doughty, and so he can't get to it clean. And I'm sure that Stankoven sees that, and now he knows that he can pull it down towards the goal line, coming and tucking around.
We always look at it from a Stars perspective. It is a Stars show, after all. John, throw that image back up again. But if you were to break this down just from this still shot from a LA Kings defensive perspective, what would you say?
Well, the first problem I would have is they're not in shot lanes. And I believe it was Essa that took
That's Lindell that's shooting it. Yep.
Took that shot. And typically in those areas of the ice, you want to be in a shot lane getting it to the net. So from there's that little seam, and Lindell, he doesn't wind up or anything. He recognizes that, and all he does is he just sifts one through, and it starts bouncing around, and Doughty's kind of got his eye on it. But again, look at Kemper. He's looking over the left shoulder, and so that rebound comes out in a nice spot. And I think Dodonov's in a perfect spot here to take care of 2 guys.
What about the lack of coverage on Stankoven from a Kings defensive.
Well,
Yeah,
they get, and that's
they're
what
fronting.
happened.
I get it. If you block the shot, maybe it's not a big deal. But shouldn't somebody be a little closer to him?
Well, but look at, there's 4 guys with, everybody's attracted to the shooter.
Are they ever?
Yeah, I mean that's it.
That's puck watching.
Yeah, it's puck watching. That's right. But again, if you're going to be puck watching, somebody's got to get in that lane too.
Well, they didn't. Stankoven scored 3-1 stars at the end of one period of play. That's how you get yourself out on the front foot at home when you haven't played in 3.5 weeks.
Yeah, and you have the crowd into it, and so everything seems to be going right. And you got a team that generally plays a pretty stingy game. Not great on the road this year, but they took advantage of that LA team in that first period.
We've only talked about half the goals so far. We'll have to do the other half in our next segment right here on the DLS Dallas Stars postgame show.
First, it's Rugged Road. Rugged Road is dedicated to creating innovative and durable outdoor gear for adventurers who demand the best. Our products are designed with the highest quality materials and craftsmanship, ensuring they perform in the toughest conditions. Whether you're on land or water, Rugged Road gear is built to accompany you on every adventure. Crafted to handle the toughest environments, their coolers are built to last, ensuring they can keep up with any adventure. The coolers are guaranteed to keep their contents cool for up to 7 days. Perfect for a variety of outdoor activities, from fishing and tubing to camping and tailgating. These coolers are designed to meet the needs of every outdoor or sports enthusiast. So gear up for your next adventure with Rugged Road coolers, reliable, durable, and built to be used. Rugged Road is your ultimate outdoor companion. Head over to ruggedroadoutdoors.com and use code DLLS for 10% off.
Now let's talk about Sleeper. Best fantasy league platform out there. And of course, you can put your puck or ball knowledge to the test by picking whether you're the favorite or least favorite players. Doesn't have to be your favorite always. Will have more or less than their projected stats each week, each game, and we have to talk about that. In the pregame show, the Stars' illustrious producer, John, helped us make some decisions, and we put a video out. And John, I would say you did pretty well yet again.
Yes, it's almost like I used to write about this stuff for a living, and I know what I'm doing with it. So
as a seasoned expert, you made a 3 selection ticket here.
A 3-leg parlay is what would be called.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, I was trying to make sure because I wasn't sure if that was a word we could say or not. But anyway, in your ticket here, you had Jason Robertson to score more than 0.5 goals. Check. Then you had Jake Oettinger to stop more than 23.5 saves. Check. And then you went Logan Stankoven, more than 0.5 goals. Double check because he scored 2. And that ambitious ticket, you could earn 18 times your money. Now, of course, you don't always have to go as bold as our producer, John. But if you think you have what it takes, new users can download the Sleeper app and use the code DLLS Stars to get $55 in free entries when you place a $5 contest. Apply it to any contest. Doesn't have to be your first. Terms apply. And, of course, conditions apply as well. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper today. By the way, John, you can pat yourself on the back. That was pretty nice.
Thank you, I did. I did that verbally during the read, and that's why it went a minute long.
I wanted to give you a ding or a Pavelski or something for it. So,
Nope.
Yep, I know. All right. So halfway through the goal scoring after one period of play, there was more to come. And Matt Duchene, Luds, could have had a hat trick in this one. Scored the power play goal, beautiful passing sequence. Then on the second half of that double minor, he hit the inside of the left post, and it kicked straight out. And he's probably laughing, going, man, that was close. But he has a goal. Then Mason Marchment tips one at the crease, and Duchene gets the rebound, and Kemper, who doesn't see the shot coming in, somehow tracks it, flares his right pad from a tight angle, and he keeps Duchene from getting a second goal.
Yeah, hasn't Duchene had like one of them a game? It seems like
it feels
lately.
like it, doesn't it?
He's put a couple right in the goalie's gloves, and there's goals at it, and he's got the look at the sky kind of thing. But the good news for him is he hasn't been kept off the score sheet as much as one other guy has coming into this game.
We're going to talk about him a little bit more, but first, another power play, and a power play goal this time for Wyatt Johnston. His 18th goal of the year. It comes just before the 5-minute mark from Hintz and Harley, and it is a really tricky tip play as he's moving out of the way of the puck and getting it, and it goes off of Kemper's mask and shoulder and in. 4-1 Stars.
Pretty simple play. Get the puck at the point. You got a couple bodies in front, you throw it to the net. And I think there's a lot into the shot, and you wouldn't generally say that, but Harley doesn't load up and fire it there. He just makes sure that he sees a little bit of an opening. He sees some daylight towards the net, and so he just makes sure it gets through there, and he does. And Wyatt's just coming through at the right time, gets the shaft of his stick on there, and as he said, it rattles around and goes in. But it just comes from getting pucks to the net, and just like you were talking about earlier, there's a shot, then there's a shot, then there's a shot. And the good news is now I think they're starting to feel it, and they're going to go, you know what, we keep doing this kind of stuff. We keep scoring power play goals, so let's, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, it was going really well. They're up by 3. It's 4-1. But then the period turned on its head because of a couple penalties. First, Marchment was called for roughing, 7:45. They don't score the Kings on the power play, but it gets them some momentum. However, Jamie Benn had a nice steal at 5-on-5, toe drags into the slot, good save, but that was a great chance. They do score at even strength, the Kings. Trevor Moore on a wraparound. What'd you see on this play?
I saw when the goal went in, he was still standing behind the net. I mean, it's a smart play. Harley's chasing him down, and he can't catch him because there's a pile in front of the net, and he runs into the net. So Moore just gets the puck. I think he realizes that Jake's going to have to scramble. I think Jake came out to his left a little bit, and he got a little discombobulated because he wasn't able to push himself back to the right, and there was just enough on the post there. And my belief is like when Moore was behind the net, he was able to spot that. And so he just tries to tuck it from behind, and he's actually standing behind the net. Not middle of the net, but to the right side of the back of the net as you're looking from the boards out.
He's in the trapezoid.
He's underneath that goal line in the back, and he just kind of throws it around. He gets his back, and it's on his backhand too. A lot of times it's a little bit easier on your toe, if you go on your forehand, but he's on his backhand, and then Jake just doesn't quite get to the post and kind of pops up over his skate.
So Moore scores unassisted. That makes it 4-2. They get another power play. Harley was called for high sticking. Kempe at 5-on-5 hit the crossbar. Then on that power play, you had LaFerriere. Fogle had a great chance on a rebound. Otter made that save. Moore missed on a wide open shot from the right circle. He had Oettinger beat. He just missed the net. That was a huge chance. Then Deneau had a tip play. They survive it, go to the intermission. But then early in the third period, it's the guy you were talking about before. Logan Stankoven scores the second of the night. Similar play, but a little bit more skill involved. Even take nothing away from the first one, but the second one shows a lot of poise.
Yeah, it is, but pretty much the same play. It's from the same spot. Kemper, again, this is the one he kind of gets out a little bit, and Stankoven's got to get the puck. He pulls it back, he gets it down. It's almost behind the goal line, and then he has to pull it back out, and then he tucks it in. But I think everything slows down for him right there because he can say a lot of people would panic in that. You drill it right back into him, and Logan gets it. He pulls it down, and you see that Kemper won't be able to get his leg back because of the way his body's contorted out there, and he's laying down flat. That he just takes his time, and then he tucks it back in on that short side.
Luds, that was Roope Hintz's 4th assist of the night. That's a career high. He's had 3 a handful of times, never 4. It's a big night for the Finn.
Well, you remember when we were talking about before, like if Hintz didn't get something going for him in the first part of the first period or early in the second, it seems like it was kind of tough sledding for him. He gets these points early in the game, and I think it gets his confidence up, and then he starts skating, and he starts moving the puck, and now there's a little synergy between him and his 2 wingers, and things just start to fall into place. So you're almost like, man, let's get Hintz a point early on in a hockey game.
Sean wrote something for our website earlier this week, 2 days ago, the 26th, where he did a diehard only Discord channel that we have. You have to be a diehard to get to it. And he asked for mailbag questions from our diehards. Then he took some of the questions and he wrote responses off of them. And one of them, he's
kind of like Ask Mike.
Yeah, kind of like Hey Heika.
Yeah, Hey Heika. Yeah.
But this is the Sean DLS Discord version. And he was comparing Hintz in the same way that at times during his career, teams would have this sort of unwritten rule of don't get Jamie Benn going. Don't poke the bear. If he's having a quiet night, leave him alone because he will be less effective than if you, for lack of a better word, piss him off and get him going, because then he turns into beast mode and he's unstoppable. Roope Hintz is I'm not saying he plays the same way, but if you get him going with something positive, like you were saying, it seems to really affect the rest of his game in a good way.
The same but different in a way, because this is an offensive thing.
Right. This isn't a get under his skin kind of thing.
And Jamie, I think it's probably easier for a guy like Jamie to get into a game because he just has to go run into somebody. or have somebody run into him, and then that starts him up. But I think and we've seen it, when Jamie's frustrated, he goes out and he takes it out on somebody on the other side, and so Roope needs a little help because he's not going to go out and run into somebody. It's got to be something offensive that happens to him. It's got to be a pass and a goal, or at least creating a couple offensive chances, whether it's Robo or whoever else is playing with him. And then when he gets that point, it seems like then he starts to feel it. So that's what I mean. It's almost like you want to make sure he starts every game, and let's get an early power play. Let's let him get a couple touches, because when he's going, things open up for the guys he's playing with.
Well, as the game was about to start, I looked over at Sam, because we're sitting next to each other in the press box.
Squirrel.
And, Doug. And who's starting? It's Jamie's line. As you like.
Yeah, well, that's because, LA heavy team, they're coming back home, blah, blah, blah. They want to get the fans into it. And you can pretty much anticipate. And I think that Jamie can keep his emotions in check most of the time. There's times when a game goes sideways, and when somebody may run one of his teammates or somebody high sticks them, then a flip or a switch kind of flips every once in a while. But I think that back in the day, and especially in rinks like Boston and Chicago, when they're little bandboxes, they used to be called, they would start those third line guys, and you had to survive it because they were coming at you. Not only do you get the other team on the back, and then you kind of get some hits in on the other team, but now the fans get into it. Now you got the building cheering right away in the first minute or so. So yeah, Jamie's got a different way to get himself going, and I think it's a little bit easier for him than being able to put up a point or a goal early on in the game all the time.
Well, they were doing just fine, but then they took another penalty, but it didn't cost them. Granlund was called for roughing at 12:01. Or no, sorry, that was the other penalty. It was Cody Ceci. Got called for high sticking. Did you get a good look at that one? Because it was hard to tell. He caught LaFerriere up high. The TV broadcast on Victory
everything
Plus
was from the back
kind
side.
of suggested that might have been some play acting, but we never really could tell, could we?
There's play acting in every one of these games now. Every time somebody gets hit, whether it's for real or not, the head goes snapping back, and I think the linesmen and the referees they got to call it, because if there's we've seen a couple of incidents happen here lately, so they don't want to let one of them go. At least they can go back and they can review it and look at it. So yeah, it did look like that there wasn't too much on that one.
Well, it was about 2 minutes after the goal by Stankoven. Sam Steele scores on a breakaway, and this was a really nice finish. And you said he didn't even make a move. What did you mean by that?
I was Kemper. I think
he
it was
goes forehand to backhand.
The funniest part about it is when he picked it up somewhere between their blue line and center ice, you could see Doughty. He was chasing him. Doughty got just inside his own blue line, and he just stopped. I mean, Steele can fly.
Yeah, he's quick,
and he took off. And I think that speed is what he used. I mean, he got below the hash marks, and all he did is he made a move to his backhand, and he kept the speed going. He must have recognized that Kemper was out enough that if he just makes that move and keeps his speed going, there's no way he's going to recover, because he made it look really easy. So I was just surprised. I at first I thought, well, maybe he went to his forehand, got Kemper to move a little bit.
Nope.
But he didn't do anything. He just went right to the backhand, and Kemper was standing there. Maybe Kemper was anticipating a shot or something like that, because he was even kind of standing up.
Froze a little bit.
It didn't look like he was prepared for it.
Well, Steele is look, we highlight this a lot. 100-point guy in juniors in the Western Hockey League. That's not an easy thing to do. Logan Stankoven did that. Steele was a first-round pick after all. Stankoven was a second-round pick. Steele has found his way into that sort of middle six, bottom six role with this team. He has enough offense and talent. He could probably play higher in the lineup on other teams. But he's here, he scores a shorthanded goal, and that effectively ends it. But I honestly, Luds, thought after the Stankoven goal, it was over anyway.
I at the start of the third period, I kept track, and I got up to 10 or 11. But I was watching, the thing that came into my mind was, how is Dallas going to manage this game? Like, you got a lead, and you don't want to give them any momentum. And every time, it was almost 11 in a row that when they weren't able to enter the zone on an outnumbered rush, they got to the offensive blue line or between the red line and the offensive blue, and pucks were going in. And they made sure that if anything was going to happen, they were going to force LA to go 200 feet to the other end of the rink. And again, going back, having to get a puck, get hit a couple times, and then be able to have yourself set up, and then they have to go through all that. But I really liked the way that they managed that game through the third period.
We have a pile of super chats coming our way. By the way, Stars have won 9 of their last 12 games. They snapped LA's 7-game point streak. LA's technically lost 2 in a row, but the last game was in overtime. They were 5-0-2 in the month of February. They were trying to go without a regulation loss in the month, granted a 2-week Four Nations break, and the Stars didn't let that happen as they win. It was their only win against LA in the season series. They had picked up 2 losses, 1 in regulation, 1 in a shootout. I thought they had played LA tough both times, but this one was different.
If they have to play him in the playoffs, do they start with Riddick then?
Riddick won both games he started.
I know.
I mean, I think Kemper's by far the better goalie.
I agree.
But he also didn't look like he was really commanding his crease tonight either.
He didn't look sharp tonight.
He wasn't the only one, though. The Stars comprehensively beat a pretty good LA Kings team. Let's talk about Super Chats and regular chats if we have time. We definitely have time for Super Chats next.
Now it's time for FOCO. Get fitted out in the best sports gear around. Hoodies, shoes, signs, bobbleheads, and everything in between. Going to a basketball or a hockey game? Show off your love with team-branded friendship bracelets. Isn't that so nice?
Sam loves those.
Whether it's jackets, beachwear, or even overalls, there's something for fans for almost every occasion. Set decorations, well, FOCO has some donated few here. I don't know where the hell they are, but there's some awesome pieces around our sets. I never know which ones they are, but apparently they're here. Can you spot any of them? No, you can't.
Did they make the
I don't know. Did they put the border up here?
That thing, yeah.
This, right here. That thing. That's
all right,
FOCO.
well, that thing right there.
Yeah,
all right,
cool.
Go show them some love. Check out FOCO.com and click the link in the description below. For all non-presale items, use the promo code DLLS10 for 10% off.
All right, let's talk about Game Time. Game Time is the best way to find the tickets that you want to the event that you want. Sports, comedy, theater, concerts. For example, Mavs play tomorrow at home at American Airlines Center against the Milwaukee Bucks. That's Giannis. That's a big draw. You can go download the app, use Game Time Picks, filters out all the fluff, so you only see great deals. You don't have to wade through all the nonsense, and you can see fantastic prices. Now, one of the things I really like is there's this toggle here. It says all-in pricing. You click on it, and the numbers change. Now, they usually go up a bit, but that way you know exactly what that ticket costs when you check out. It's not like, oh, it's this much money, and then all of a sudden it's all these fees. You know exactly what you're paying when you go to check out. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code DLLS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code DLS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, Luds, we have Super Chats. They've been loading up. I think it's time for us to get it on, so to speak.
Bing bong.
We did the first one already from Misty, so let's go down to Reed.
Reed with a little Haskin in 99, which we learned the other day is probably on a phone, which we appreciate. Most complete game by the fellas in a while. Who's the 1 or 2 players who can elevate their game to take this team to an even higher level?
I don't know. Read it again. Chuck was sending me a text message, and he wants to know about Pantera tickets. So, anyway.
You guys going to go?
I don't know. He's coming. No, they're going to be in Denver.
It's not quite the same, but still
No,
good?
It's not the same at all.
No.
Yeah,
but still fun? Have you seen them since the 2 front guys?
I have not, but,
yeah.
You know.
Okay, so the question is, which are the 1 or 2 guys on this roster that can elevate this team's game, their game to take the team to higher levels? Even though he said great complete game tonight.
Higher level than
third in
the role that they're on right now?
Pretty much. I mean, is the real key is that this team is all about balance? It's not about McKinnon or McCarr?
Yeah, exactly. I just think that, power play is so, important. And a lot of the upper tier guys get their feel from that. And I look at the way that things are happening right now in the power play. And, like you talk about McCarr and McKinnon. When they're kind of a team that goes by 3 guys, maybe 4. But, the Val's back now, Natushkin's back there in Colorado, and so that's going to help them. But but this is more by committee, this group. And the Stars, when you look at the minutes at the end of the games and the way Pete deploys the lines and everything, it's balanced. And you have to be able to play a certain way. And that's what they were talking about, with Beck and Bork and, Steele, guys that got to be able to contribute. And he doesn't mean being just plumbers down there and come out of a game even and don't, you don't give up any scoring chance. He wants you to be able to create just like Steele did tonight. So this team is built with depth. It's depth through the lineup. I think you would like the defensemen to be able to chip in offensively more, even though they're not needing it right now.
Now, it's really Harley and the forwards.
Yeah, I was telling.
Although Essa was getting his shots off and he
Essa
created because of his.
I didn't include Essa on that other thing.
Yeah.
I was looking and I looked at some stats today, and it was for the right side. It was for Lyubushkin, CC, Dumba, and then Brendan Smith. And they've played a combined 128 games, I believe it is, this year. They have 0 goals and 12 points. And so I'm like, man, is that good or is that bad? But you keep winning with those guys in the lineup. So, and they have like a combined salary of, I'm going to kind of ballpark around $10, $11 million. So, they've got it when the power play's working, you're good. And if they're defending, that's good. And the other thing is, as a group, they were -2. So they're not even coming out on the plus side as a group of 4. It could be even or 2, whatever, or -2, somewhere in there. But they're finding ways to win. They're doing the job when they need to. And I think what it comes down to is guys are doing their job. And it's about doing what you're supposed to do this shift. And if that goes well, you do it again the next shift. And then you rely on your big guys to put the puck in the net. And what happens is everybody's satisfied doing their job. And you feel like you come out on the winning side a lot of times, even though you're not getting the points and you're not +2 or +3 or something like that, or you didn't play 25 minutes or 18 minutes, whatever it may be. You just feel good about it because it feels more like a team win.
And it is because, look, I didn't think Mason Marchment was great coming out of his injury. It was good to have him back, but I feel like he needed to get back. He was better tonight. I still think there's another gear to get back to pre-injury where he was just overflowing with confidence. And then that means that, the Hintz, Robertson, Stankoven line, they can go. Or it's the Duchene looked great even with Marchment still. Marchment was better tonight. Granlund on that one. Then you've got Wyatt with Jamie and Dodonov, and Dodonov can win you a game with a couple goals, or Jamie or Wyatt who had one tonight. Then you have Steele with a shorthanded goal. Maybe add Tyler Seguin into that mix. That's not an issue. They've got depth up front. On the back, it's why we spent so much time on our shows with Heike and Sean this week talking about possible additions in the trade market beyond just Cody Ceci, because they could use that.
And people are going to wonder, well, of course they're going to be able to, because they're doing it in the regular season. We've seen it through close to 60 games now, or whatever it is right now. But we've said this so many times that the playoffs are different, and they're different because you're going to play the same team every other night for possibly 14 days. And they start to learn things about you. And they're going to learn that Dumba doesn't do this well, or CC doesn't turn this way, or Thomas Harley has a little hitch if you go to this side of the ice. They're going to pick all those things. And you're going to pick things out about them on the other side too, though. But now all of a sudden it becomes the war of attrition, and who can push you out of the fight over the course of those 14 days. Now, when it comes to those guys I just talked about, I don't believe you're pushing those guys out of a fight when it comes to physical play. I mean, when you go down Lyubushkin and CC and Dumba and Brendan Smith, those guys aren't going to get pushed out of a fight, who's ever in the lineup. So I just, it's a completely different animal, and that's why I don't get all hung up on the regular season stuff. They're in a playoff spot. They're playing well. That's great. You want to be able to do that. You want to hit the playoffs going this way. And that's probably what they're going to do. But then everything changes, because Jason Robertson, if he ends up with 35 goals and Hintz ends up with 75 points, they all start at 0. Game 83, you start back at 0, and you got to start proving it all over again.
All right, let's go to the next one.
It has taken us 6 minutes to get through one super chat, so let's move it along, fellas.
We'll move it along. Burned Oils with a little Lundqvist and Luka. Or, it could be Ray Bork, but around here it's probably Luka Doncic. I was very critical of Peter and Daddy Spot with their power play situation, but since they really powerfully turned things around, so all credit to them for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just wondering who turned it around. I mean, this is nothing against Miro, but what was turned around is pucks are going to the net now because Thomas Harley is shooting the puck and everybody else seems to be on the same page. And so, Miro, when you get back, please continue.
Could it also be a little bit of they were going through a slump and between
How
Harley
many pucks
and,
have they turned over to offensive blue lines in that last
I mean,
week or two?
even the entries
The
sometimes
entries
you go,
are
this
completely different
yeah.
now too. So and that could be Steve Spot. So there you go.
All right, let's go to the next one, John.
Bing bong.
Trying to be a little bit quicker here.
T Farmer sent this, by the way. He was at the game, so this must have come in while he was walking to the car.
T
Unless
Farmer,
he's super chatting and driving, which we do not condone.
Heiskanen 99 Cup year. You guys have a thing going on. The Fogle goal was cringe on defense, but I'm being highly critical of a great night.
Yeah, it's okay.
You talked about it. You talked about the coverage.
And apparently I can't talk anymore, so we got to move on.
Yeah.
We didn't say don't talk.
He
Although I think I
literally
gave
just said go
Luds. I think I
faster.
gave Luds a good idea when I told him to stop talking.
Bing
You have to
bong.
be careful with Luds because
good
he,
hint.
he will take you literally.
He's like Drax the Destroyer.
That is a Guardians of the Galaxies reference.
don't even know
You've
what that
definitely
is.
not seen that. But
Sick
Drax
reference,
is pretty
though.
funny.
Oh, thanks, bud. Dude, your references are out of control. Everyone knows that.
His new toy's fun. Bran with a Heiskanen and 99 Cup year. Trying to keep track of these a little bit tonight so we know what we're doing. This game really made me feel like our offense is set for the playoffs. Do you think this makes it easier or harder on Jim to make a decision on a trade? Another trade, because remember, he already made a trade for 2 players. Because it happened so much earlier than the deadline, I think a lot of times we forget because we think trade deadline like a day or two at the deadline.
It's easier. When you're trying to figure out a piece and trying to make a piece fit when things aren't going well, and you're banging your head every night, do I make this move? Do I get rid of this guy? Is this the right guy to bring into the group? And all that kind of stuff versus going, man, we're doing great right now. And all 4 of our lines are clicking. And if we can just add a little bit of a bump or just some depth, we're good. So I would say it's a lot easier when you're rolling like this.
Bing bong.
Go talk hockey with me. Jordan writing in a little Madonna and 99 Cup here. The unofficial DLS diehard meetup was fun and that was the first point. So they apparently had an unofficial DLS diehard meetup.
Apparently it was in the Discord, but I missed it.
Okay. And then we have 2 Stanley Cup and 2 Stanky goals. Roope with 4 assists. Steele with a shorty. What a night to be a Stars fan. Also, Pavelski. Paid for it. You get it. Although, I would say this, Jordan. If you want to get the Pavelski one, shouldn't the Super Chat be $16.99? Wouldn't that be appropriate? Shouldn't it be Pavelski and Stanley Cup year? What do you
Why
think?
couldn't it be 16 and 16?
Double Pavelski. I would say.
Or you could just do 32-32.
Or you could do $16,000.
Ooh.
Or
Then,
16-32.
if you want to do 16,000, we'll take you to lunch. How about that? It's a nice lunch.
I'll take you to a lunch you'll never forget.
Rusty Beagle.
I promise you.
All right. What's
Bing
next?
bong.
Eric writes in with a Lundqvist and Zubov. See, now we're getting a little creative. Nicely done, Eric. Our defense looks decent without Miro and Nils. Hey, Luds, what do you think about Leinenkugel's closing this year? Oh, he's bringing sad news.
You know what? One of our U18 goalies was just in Chippewa Falls, skating with the junior team there this past week, and that's the home of Leinenkugel.
He didn't bring you any because he's not legal to buy it.
No, well, he's 18. That's kind of legal.
Wisconsin is different, isn't it?
Legal up there. Yeah, no. It's I played ball for Jake Leinenkugel, as a matter of fact, years ago. So.
But they're closing?
Apparently so. I didn't know that, but I don't think that's the way you spell it. But
Close enough.
yeah,
We got it.
yeah, I
done.
couldn't spell it either. So
Is someone playing a saxophone outside right now? Do you guys hear that?
I feel it's a jazz band. I heard trumpet.
Squirrel! I had a squirrel moment. I had to call
You did.
myself
We
on.
have
you have
had
too
a
many of
Sam
these little
moment.
drop.
Sam's
No,
going
I can hear it out there. It's a thing. There was a dude in Boston who used to do that. He would go to
I
concerts.
thought we were supposed to be moving along here.
Yeah, well, now we moved along too fast.
Okay,
now we have
I
time to
guess
kill.
when you don't want to move along, we don't move along.
Oh, I have stuff to say now.
Okay.
Point for Luds.
Bing bong.
I'll send it in the Discord. Become
Eric
a
with
diehard if
another
you want
one.
to hear my thought.
A Ludwig and Zubov. I like that one as well. Luds, I'm from Fox Valley. Go Pack.
Go Pack. There you go. Made it a little further in the boys, I think.
So, speaking of which, this is a digression, messing with the time. When I was with the Albany River Rats, Albany, New York, capital of the state of New York.
Apparently, you don't have to move along either.
I'm going to tell you a Packer
Okay.
story.
Okay.
One of our sales guys was from Wisconsin.
Look at he's looking out the
He
window.
wants to know what's going on with the music he heard.
You know what
this
age
his
is
squirrel
coming
moment.
out of there too.
Yeah, I do. But
Look
this
at
is not
Trying
what
to
that
find
music
the
was.
saxophone.
So, one of our sales guys with the River Rats, huge Packers fan from Wisconsin. Packers were playing in the, I want to say it was the 08 playoffs against the Giants. We went to the, or was it Giants? It doesn't matter. I think it was NFC Championship game or divisional round, whatever. We went to the official Packer backer bar in Albany, New York.
All official Packer backer bars.
I'd never been to one of these because I'm not a Packers fan. I'm not against them, but we went to there. It was basically the official meetup place for Packers fans to watch the game in Albany. And the place was stuffed, jammed to the brim. Now it's a playoff game. And I would hear this big guy in the corner just out of the blue, da 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 da. And then the whole crowd goes, go, Pack, go. And they would do it the entire, it was really something.
You know, this morning at about 4:45, I was playing around on the computer, and there's this guy out of Wisconsin. He's got this thing he does on dive bars. So he just travels around. He does little videos on dive bars. Well, anyways, so I signed up this morning for $24 a month. I'm getting
You need to get more
I'm
sleep.
getting an official dive bar shirt once a month from all of the dive bars in Wisconsin.
Oh, you're going to have
They
quite
just
the collection.
they just kind of pick and send you whatever.
Get you the right size.
I hope so. We'll find out. I don't get the first one until March sometime.
Up next, any more Super Chats? Talk to Sam.
No, but are you referring to the 2007 NFC Championship game by any chance? Andrew's asking. That was the
what
ice
happened
cold
to
game.
Let's move along?
We have time, Luds. That's why
now
I'm saying
we
it.
have time.
Yeah, because then I said to move it along, so then you offered no analysis on every other
Question,
super chat.
because I always forget this. If it's the 07,
It was played in January of 08.
that's the game.
Yes, that was the Lawrence Tynes 3 field goals, because then the Giants beat the. We don't have to talk about that.
Yes.
See, we have time when he wants to talk about it.
Yes, because
I don't
if
want to
the-
talk about it.
And I fully believe that if the Packers win that game, the Patriots have their perfect season. All right, up next, any more Super Chats? Sam, man of the match, and maybe another John Squirrel moment. Who can say?
Squirrel.
It's my favorite drop. Almost as much as Luddy talking about needing to stop saying the bleep word so much. Guess what,
Right
guys?
now I have to stop saying
That one. You're almost out of time because the DLS Diehards discount spring training offer ends tonight. Tomorrow, it will not be a thing, I've been told. Get your diehard subscription for the first year now while you still can. Look at the savings. It's almost 50% off. Alone, you can get a t-shirt of your choice. Could be this one. Not exactly this one, but one like this one. Luds isn't going to just take it off and give it to you. For free. I mean, it's not for free. It's $48, but you get a t-shirt. That's basically covering most of the cost of your subscription. Then you get all the diehard level writing. Sean, Sam, Mavs, Rangers, Cowboys. You get access to the diehard only Discord, which apparently leads to meetups now, John.
Yeah, apparently there was a diehard meetup at AAC, and if I'm attempting to effort photos from this,
All right, so we'll work on that.
if they exist.
You also get discount on other merchandise. You get discount on DLS events like our trip to Cosm coming up at the end of March. We will have a lot of fun, and this is a great opportunity to do it. Plus, speaking of getting a discount on merch, look at what's coming up for St. Paddy's Day. Available to ship in stock right now.
Speaking of merch, I just did the math on that shirt thing I just signed up for. That's $300 a year I'm spending.
You're spending that much a month?
It's $24.99 a month.
You're
And I
buying
get-
a shirt
I
a
get
month.
a shirt a month,
Yeah.
apparently.
So there you go.
I should have did a little math before I
Two
agreed to terms.
things here. One, that's a lot for shirts. Two, Luddy should have been sleeping instead of buying shirts at 4:45 in the
Yeah, I
morning.
should have been.
And the DLS shirt with the discount for diehard,
That's
way
what made
cheaper.
me think of that.
Yeah.
Huh. But can we get one a month here?
You know what else is cool? there is, it's not cool. Everybody in Dallas is still upset about Luka getting traded. There's a Luka Doncic shirt on the DLS merch store, 50% off.
Ooh.
So if you want to kind of stick
Isn't
it,
that going to be a collector's item?
yeah.
Someday?
If you want to kind of stick it to the Mavs, still support Luka like we all do,
Stick it to the Mavs.
or just Sam singing.
Hey.
Welcome, Sam.
I don't know if Sam knew he was on the show. We should have
I
let him
was
go
just
that
laughing
I
long.
saw
at
him
you
fixing his
saying
camera and he
sticking
was
to
really
the
close, so I
Mavs.
decided to just cut to him
Go
and
get
see
that
what
shirt.
happened.
All right, Sam's here.
Sorry, Sam.
Sam, you missed it. John had a squirrel moment in the middle of our second segment.
No, I saw it. I was playing saxophone. He wouldn't put me on the camera.
No, so he was listening.
I've been acting over here for several minutes while you fools just hooted
Didn't flush?
around. No, I did hit the bathroom before I came in here. Don't worry.
All right, Sam. Before we get to another super chat, because Ardell just sent one in, what do you have for us?
Yeah, lots of good stuff. Obviously, that was an impressive win. I asked Pete if that felt like a statement win because this is one of the elite teams in the Western Conference. One of the teams that he and everyone else has basically agreed is really hard to play against, and they dominated them for most, if not all, of this game. So he said it was not just a statement win and an impressive win, but they really Steele, everyone really kind of went back to that Columbus loss and said we were really upset about that loss and how we played, and we wanted to respond. And man, did they ever do it tonight! But couple updates on the injury front. We did see Duchene left the game early. He just got a cut on his chin from a puck, so he's fine. Nothing further than that. And then I guess Ilya Lubushkin was in some pain on the bench towards the end of the game. So Pete was asked about Ilya, and he said he looked like he was in some discomfort there. And Pete said, I think that's just the way he always looks. So I guess he's fine as well. So everyone healthy, big win. One thing I thought was really funny, we asked Sam Steele was asked about his breakaway, and he said I can't remember the last time I had a breakaway. And he actually took a moment to pick his head up, look to his sides and kind of back. And he said, I didn't feel pressure or see anyone anywhere. So I took my sweet time, made a nice move, and was able to shelf it. So just good vibes, and I think they're really excited about the response from the last game to this
Sam,
one. Which what a
Buddy
performance!
diagrammed how the fact that Drew Doughty was nowhere in sight because he had given up the pull to shoot. So that's why he had so much time.
He was waving
Yeah.
the white flag just as he got across the blue line. He was done.
By the way, practice is now at 11 a.m. tomorrow.
Correct.
They just sent it out. So
Probably just for getting home.
obviously, two big notes are Logan Stankoven scoring twice, especially after getting healthy scratched a couple of games ago. The other big note is a career day for assists, career high 4 for Roope Hintz. Did you guys talk to either one of those guys tonight?
Yeah. Talk to might be an exaggeration. We were there and we asked questions, and they somewhat responded. Roope was the Roope that doesn't want to answer the questions today. Specifically asked about his 4 assists, and he said, trying to think, he said, I don't know how I compare it to goals, but I think you need an assist most of the time before goals. So that was him breaking down how important the 4 assists were for him. Stankoven, I gotta say, guys, he is so sick of hearing about this scoring issues and the whatever else. He didn't want to answer any of the questions. It was straight
What did he
face,
say or not say?
just not really anything. I mean, basically every question about is specifically the goals or the drought or how it felt to play with Robo and Hintz, any of it, he just simple hockey answer. It was great. Good to see him. Good to see it go in. Short, quick answers. So I know he interviewed with the TV guys or radio. I didn't see who it was right after. So I'm sure he's just so sick of this. So I'm going to be sure at practice tomorrow that I ask Logan about something completely different. Just to
You know what,
show
Sam?
him that's Yeah.
why possibly is because it can dry up right away again. You know what I'm saying? He'd like to probably
Of course,
get on a
it
roll
has.
where he's scoring every, a
It's
goal.
been a while since he
and
scored a
then
couple games in a
you
row.
score in the 3rd game and then the 4th game and then maybe you
Yeah.
miss a couple games. But yeah, you don't want to go, oh yeah, I'm back. I don't think
Yeah,
he's out there just yet.
He scored 2 against, I think it was Toronto.
He was on
He
the
broke
road
that
in
first
January.
broke that streak with that, and then since then it's been like 2-16 or something like that. So you're absolutely right. It's not just that it can dry up; it's that it's pretty much consistently dried up after he scored all season.
Yeah, he scored 2 against the Maple Leafs on January 14th. That ended that 24-game goal drought.
Yep.
He hasn't scored in back-to-back games goals since, John, the Bruins game on November 14th.
Oof.
And then the game in Pittsburgh on November 11th before that. So, again, that was the only time this year he has scored in consecutive games. Goals.
You know, when he was playing prior to getting here at that last level, he was a consistent guy.
He was scoring every night in the AHL.
He wants to become the consistent guy at this level now.
Well, it's a good start for sure. We've got we've got drop requests. The super chats are still going. But Sam, the thing is that now the Stars have an advantage. I don't know if anybody's talking about it yet or if it's something in practice. They get to rest and recover. You talked about some of the guys that picked up some knocks during the game and they get a chance to practice tomorrow. Maybe a couple guys will get a maintenance day. The Kings have to go to St. Louis and play the Blues tomorrow. The Blues then have to come to Dallas and play a 5 o'clock game on Sunday. So literally a week after I was complaining about the Islanders having a day off and then the Blue Jackets having 2 days to recover, now the Stars get to be on the other end of that. It does even out usually in over an 82-game season.
Yeah, about time. But I mean, how about that for St. Louis? I'm assuming they're gonna play a pretty pissed off LA Kings team that thought that. I mean, Drew Doughty was really adamant about we need to find a way to get 2 points tonight. They knew what this game meant. They knew that this is one of those test games where you kind of see where you stand and how will you compare to who are supposed to be the elite teams right now. And Dallas wanted to do the same thing, and they showed up, and LA just didn't. So I would imagine a very angry and motivated team for LA tomorrow. And maybe that works out perfectly. The Stars beat the Kings down. They go and beat the crap out of the Blues, and the Blues come in here tired, and the Stars get another win. So could be a 4-point weekend because of that.
Should we get to Ardell's super chat and Eric with another one? Eric is going for the hat trick tonight, by the way.
Oh, I don't have a hat on.
Well, let's go to Ardell.
Bing bong.
Super chat, a little Stankoven steal. He did that just because he wants to see the steal picture. We crushed those guys.
I believe that they are going to crush these guys tonight.
There were DLS diehards congregating tonight at the AAC. Dumba is helping the team hold the fort of late. Better late than never. You agree?
I agree. I think there's some consistency in his game. I think he's keeping things a little bit simpler. He's getting involved, physically that he likes to do. But I think, again,
he rolls his eyes.
I was going to say he's dumbed things down. And I don't mean that in a
He's
bad way.
He's not trying to make a joke.
Yeah, no. You dumb things down and you just you make things simpler and you make things quicker. You don't try to do too much. And again, that's how you win the trust of the coaching staff is you just make the simple, easy plays and you continue to get rolled out there.
One of the cool things about DLS diehards congregating at the AAC is we're building a DLS diehard community, right? We've been going for 6 months now.
There's 3 of them at the Rusty Beagle.
You ran into some yesterday,
Yep.
right? Diners, dive bars, and drives or whatever it is.
Yep.
And here we are cultivating already a ton of Stars fans, but now coming together some commonality with our show. That's a lot of fun. Wait till we get together at Cosm on March 26th.
Owen got locked out of the press box today.
Oh, wait till the Stars win the cup, and we're going to have a DLLS float.
Ooh,
parade!
We're going to have a
yes.
diehard float.
I bet you've got
It'll
a guy.
It'll be shaped like a toilet.
He's got a guy, a float guy.
I got a guy.
Sam, I bet you don't have
it'll be
parade
like a
float guy.
No, and I'll have
it'll be shaped like a toilet.
I'll have a
seat.
step stool and everything for you to be able to get onto it, Sam. I got you covered.
Oh,
you got a little
that's
parachute.
fantastic.
You can jump off it if you'd like.
Can we put him up on a little
Oh.
platform so he can get a little higher and see?
I'll parachute from your buddy's helicopter.
We have another super chat. But before we get to that and our man of the match and all that other stuff, let's say thank you very much, as we always do, to everyone who joined on our television platforms. Make sure to like and subscribe here on the pod. And check out alldlls.com.
Bing bang.
Okay, back to the show. Eric, I don't have a hat. I was looking back there, but it's too far away. A hat trick of Super Chats tonight for Eric. Oh, wait, John's got one. Can he throw it over the camera?
Throw it.
Yes, he got it. Nice shot, John. A Heiskanen and Hintz. Finland. I love it. So that's 424. Grand total tonight over $75 in Super Chats. I thought I would do it tonight just to see where we're at. We're up to 75 plus. Look at Allie. I love the DLLS community all the way up north. At some point, Allie's going to have to do one of two things. Rep DLLS at a Edmonton Oilers
Why not
Dallas
just
Stars
get
game.
on a plane and come in the studio and watch a game with us?
That's the other one.
Blame-
So,
blame it on-
Allie,
blame it on
wait,
the
now
wine.
GM Ben, who's going to be the first DLS diehard to get arrested? T-shirt and the mug shot?
I know who I'm betting on.
Luds is the first one to get pulled over driving home from doing a post-game show.
Were you wearing your DLLS shirt when they pulled you over?
Is that how you got out of
and
it?
I swear to God, I wasn't going that fast.
You should have given them a discount on becoming a diehard to get out of it.
But I told the truth,
Name
and he
dropper.
said, "Mr. Ludwig, take it easy. Go home, take it easy." So
Was that your laugh, Sam?
Yeah, it was good. It was close to the drop, wasn't it?
It's a little faster trill, but
Yeah,
not
I
bad.
tried.
So, Allie, two ideas. One, you're from Edmonton. You go to the Oilers Stars game. There's 2 of them this month. You rep a DLS shirt. You send us all a pic we can share on the show. That's 1. 2, you listen to Mr. Ludwig over here, our Esquire, Stars down here, hang out with us in the studio and have a grand old time.
we
Jordan
could have a little
said-
watching party.
I mean,
here.
we could have a DLS community thing. We'll always, Allie will throw hands at the Edmonton Oilers game. She, by the way, has been very adamant that she is not an Oilers fan at all.
Sam, do you have a question?
Yes, I have a story. Can I tell a story? Do
Go
I
ahead.
have the floor? All right. So today I went to the gym with my college roommate who was
Sick
visiting,
brag.
and I was changing, and I realized I didn't bring clean shorts, so I had to put back on my dirty ones, which is like worst case scenario when you're at the gym showered. And you gotta
He's
put
writing the,
dirty shorts
he's
back.
writing the
Tell these
material
kind of
himself
stories.
here.
I'm
There's
telling
marks
you
on it
because
too.
there's a reason. There's a reason to this. So I tell my roommate that I forgot shorts, and he goes, "Oh, I forgot underwear." And swear to God, some guy from across the locker room goes, "Underwear is an unnecessary article of clothing." So that was one part. Then I took my sweatshirt off, which was the sweatshirts we picked up the other day. Luds and Owen know what I'm talking about. And I was wearing the Samando shirt. So I quickly flashed my Superman Samando shirt. He didn't get it, but oh, look at this. And I got it all going on. So it was a beautiful day for Samando and underwear.
What are we doing?
I don't know. This would
Is
be
there like a
perfect,
super squirrel drop?
Yes, you can do it like, can you do it
That
like
was good. This is serious conversation. You guys.
All right, let's
I
pull it
mean-
back here.
I don't know what to say.
We have a new nickname.
do. Say
Roope
goodnight.
Hintz.
Quote, we need to make one of those quote graphics from social.
Just say
Quote, it's a
goodnight.
beautiful day to wear underwear with Sam's face on it.
We have a
Roope Hintz.
new nickname for Sam from GM Ben in the chat. Hashtag Dirty Shorts Sam.
I had to shower again because I was so disgusted by putting on sweaty shorts.
I
Burned,
have to
I'm a very
shower after
clean-
listening to
clean
that story.
individual. A very
Burned
clean
Oil said
individual.
Samando goes commando.
Yeah, always.
And then says, fun story. Very interesting tidbit there, Sam. So, as he's pointing to a Stanley Cup banner that Luds helped to, let's go. Oh, and then Ardell said, Sam with the swamp ass story. Which
I
is
can't
perfect.
say that. How come everybody else? how
Sam
come
has
you
been
can say
casting
that?
a
reading.
swamp thing in the DCU.
I think you could say
so
that.
if you're
that word.
reading those kind of things,
No,
John,
no,
it's okay
no,
to
no.
say.
What?
You can
No.
say that 3-letter word. You can't say the
The
one
word
that
I
you
said is
say
okay.
constantly.
Ass.
What's a 3-letter word? I don't
Do you not like that we
Oh,
said
man.
ass? Is that what you're saying?
Luds needs to
Yes.
go back to
we
class
can
in
say
North Dakota.
ass.
You said it 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're past the hour.
Buddy, I'm going to let you go first because we got to get Sam's concentration back. Man of the match today.
I'm not going to pick Sam, who are you talking to? Is that Jim on the other
Talking
line?
to-
We got any
talking to
updates?
Jim
Anything
Mill.
coming in?
Talking
Got
to Jim
breaking
Mill, trying to make
news?
a trade. Trying to make a trade here. What is this doing in here?
What's going on with
All
him?
right, go.
I'm not.
Can we just
Man
take
of
him
the
off the
match.
screen?
I'm not.
It's Friday
I'm not
night, boys.
picking the obvious man of the match. I'm going to go with Thomas Harley.
Okay. Why?
And well, what he's doing that's leading to power play success, that's leading to offensive zone time. I think he's taking care of his own end, so I don't think it would be the guy that would stand out to you guys tonight because I don't go down the thing and just looked at one guy has 4 pints and a goal. I just think that he, with Miro being out of the lineup for now, we're seeing what he can become.
Do you think in a weird, strange way it's actually a benefit for Harley and the Stars because of Harley's development to have to step into this role with Miro being out? Obviously, nobody wants to hope for an injury like this to Heiskanen,
Right.
but there was talk when John Klingberg did not get re-signed by the Stars, and there was this narrative that Miro's such a team guy, and John takes up a lot of air in the room. He's a confident offensive guy. To be effective, he has to have power play time and the puck on his stick. That it was actually going to allow Miro to grow into a bigger role simply by Klingberg moving on. Is that... And I'm not saying Miro leave. I'm just saying, does this help Harley in the short term for the long term?
You're going to get the double barrel. You know what I'm saying? Do
you think that less likely they'll be paired together because of that?
I think what can happen is Thomas can push Miro, and Miro can push Thomas, especially when it comes to the power play. You know, if one guy's having success, you don't typically change it. And if the other guy wants to get in there, you can see why there's success happening. So,
he's giggling over
you know,
there.
and again, I just think that everything that he's doing, I don't think that this is giving Thomas Harley more belief in what he can do.
Yeah, I
Thomas
agree.
Harley has that belief. Now he's able to say, you see what I'm talking about? Not that he's that kind of guy.
It's not necessarily for Harley's belief. It might be for the team and the coaching staff's belief.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and I think a lot of that has to do with how he plays with responsibility. It's more about him being responsible because they knew this other stuff. And so now he's being able to open things up a little bit, but he's not becoming the Evan Bouchard. I know everybody thinks he does have analytical numbers, but for me, Bouchard
you think he's more one-dimensional?
I do. I think he's an offensive-minded guy. He's got a bomb for a shot. He's good on the power play, but he's not quite Erik Karlsson. But there's nights I see him play like Erik Karlsson, where he doesn't really give a tinker's damn about what's happening at the other end of the ring.
Sam, who's your man of the match tonight?
Tinker's damn. I'm not sure what that is, but it's Jason
Look it
Robertson
up.
for me.
Got to be a Wisconsinite
It's a
phrase.
thing.
No,
Jake-
it is a thing.
It's a thing.
Number
A
21,
tinker is
Jason
a
Robertson.
craftsman. I'm not kidding you. A tinker is a skilled tradesman. You have to look it up.
So
I'm
a
not gonna
tinker, so a tinker's dam is a skilled tradesman building a dam.
Sam?
No,
What do you got?
you don't build.
You got
water
Robo?
I
wells.
tried to answer. Jason
Yeah, I
Robertson.
heard you say Robo.
Jason Robertson. He was. Owen and I talked about it a bunch. His confidence was on the next level. He was driving hard to the net, and I think he created a lot tonight.
Honorable mentions to Stankoven for scoring 2 goals. Roope Hintz, 4 assists. That's a big deal. I want to pick Hintz, but I thought Duchene was fantastic. Scored a really nice goal. Hintz and Robertson set him up on the power play. He had at least 2 others that should have been in. One hit a post. One got absolutely stoned. Sam and you and I were looking at the replay, and the way that Kemper found and stuck the pad out was really something. Took a puck to the chin. I mean, this is why the way this team is built. Unlike Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, McKinnon, McCarr, Crosby, and Malkin, this team is built on, okay, you do it, maybe this line tonight. This line's not going, this line. And that's how it works.
It's a good problem to have when you can't agree on who the first star of the game is, right?
Or who the top line is.
That's a good problem to have when you can just go ahead and put all the names in the hat and draw them out, and you're probably going to be right.
All right, I'm afraid to ask Sam if he has any final thoughts.
I really want a pizza.
Of what?
Squirrel. Good
about
night,
you?
everybody. I
That
love
isn't
you.
totally squirrel. I'll
How
give
about
Sam
you?
credit.
Any final thoughts pertaining to this game? I should have specified.
Oh, see, I didn't have that filter.
No,
We
the only
opened
thing I'd
Pandora's
say
box by-
is
No.
it was a very good effort by the guys coming back to Dallas after being gone for 3 weeks or so. That one's over with. Now you got to move on to the next one.
One question for you, though. You have that pretty lousy game in Columbus, still kind of in it because you're a good team, even though you didn't play well. And this rebound, if it could have flipped, they could have had a 3-for-3 beating the Blue Jackets and then had a trap game tonight. Would you have rather had it this way than the other way? Like, winning in front of your home fans, that's kind of a big deal.
Doesn't even matter to
No?
me. I mean,
2 points, 2 points?
That game's gone, and this game's gone. This game's gone now too.
All right. Speaking of which, we're back on Sunday.
We're gone.
4:15 p.m. Central Time. 5 o'clock puck drop. Stars and Blues. Dallas is supposed to practice tomorrow at 11. I can't imagine it'll be super intense. Blues and Kings are playing in St. Louis tomorrow. And then the Stars will play the Blues Sunday at 5 o'clock.
You ready, John?
I'm ready for what?
We be gone.
Get ready.
Craig Ludwig, John Anderson, Sam Nestler, I'm Owen. All of our diehards, all of the people in the chat, thanks for viewing and watching tonight. And for those of you listening later,
Beautiful shot.
6-2 Stars with the win. Look at those
Look at
banners.
all that green. Look at all that green.
We'll see you Sunday
St.
afternoon
Patty.
for the
Get yourself
pregame
a
show.
St. Patty Day shirt.
I need a Miller Lite.
We all silly like the mayor.